We got a full Bears versus Vikings preview here on today's episode of Chicago Bears Now, including some notable injury updates for both teams, so stay tuned for that. But guys, Vikings Hate Week is here, and our Vikings Now host, Patrick Seatman, has challenged us to a subscriber battle starting today until kickoff. I don't want to just win this competition. I want to demoralize Vikings Now in the subscriber challenge this week. So if you want coverage on a daily basis around your Chicago Bears, and if you want to crush the Vikings both on and off the field, hit that subscribe button. It's free. I'm Harrison Graham, and this Bears-Vikings preview is presented by Roan. Get your closet in check with Roan. You're going to be feeling much better in terms of comfort, but also look better as well. Roan is going to upgrade your closet instantly. Get started today, rhone.com/chatsports. Code chatsports, get you a 20% discount. Okay, let's dive into this Week 6 matchup, folks, as you feel like there's a little jolt of energy with the Bears right now after snapping that 14-game losing streak with a 40-20 win over Washington. Vikings currently 3-point favorites, but I'll tell you in a minute why that could shift. Over-under at 46.5 this weekend at Soldier Field. And by the way, it's still been a very, very long time since the Bears have won at home. That has actually been over a year at this point in time. So really need to get back on track here. You look at how both these teams have started in the first 5 weeks of the season. We know the story with Chicago. Really brutal start the first 3 weeks. Blew that Week 4 game against Denver. And really looking back, you're like, come on, man. If you would have just won that game, you're 2-3. The season's kind of back on. But can't look back. Got to focus on this week. And obviously a good win last week on Thursday Night Football for Minnesota. They're also 1-4. They've had quite a journey as it's been the opposite for them in comparison to last year. Last year, they, 11-0, 11-1 in one-score games. This year, they are 1-4 in one-score games. They beat Carolina by 8, but lost every other game by 7 points or less. And look, it's kind of an elimination game, right? Like, you start 1-5, you don't really have much of a chance. Even at 2-4, it's not like you have a great chance to be a playoff team. But if you're the Chicago Bears, Minnesota at home, you're behind the 8 ball, you got to win this game if you want to make a run this year. So this is an elimination game in the NFC, in my opinion. Now, how confident are you in a Bears win? Scale it from 1 to 10, 1 being you're not confident at all, 10 being I'm feeling on top of the world after Thursday night. Let us know. I'll have my official prediction later on in the video, but I want to hear from you guys. How confident are you in a Bears win? Okay, let's get to the injury discussion. Then we'll get to some keys to victory here in a little bit. Justin Jefferson, is he going to miss this game? Well, he did leave Sunday's game against the Kansas City Chiefs with a hamstring injury, and we know how tricky those can be, especially for wide receivers. Now, Dr. David Schau, a.k.a. Pro Football Doc, who is former team doctor at the Chargers, all over this stuff, every NFL Sunday throughout the week, he had this to say about Jefferson. He said, how long he misses will depend on the exact location and severity, MRI pending, but he is likely to miss some time with the hamstring going forward. This is a major development for this game. The Vikings are reeling at 1-4. The Bears have a little bit of confidence now. Again, I am bookmarking this as an elimination game. It's certainly a lot easier to win this game if you don't have to face Justin Jefferson. Again, we don't cheer for injuries here. I'll never cheer for injuries here, but we're just discussing the situation. And the situation is, I don't think Justin Jefferson's going to play. Now, we won't have the first official injury report of the week until Wednesday, but if Jefferson is not out there, that's a major development, and it gives the Bears a much better chance of winning, in my opinion. We'll get to the Bears injury report in just a second, but I want to tell you guys a little bit more about today's sponsor. That is Roan. Men's closets were due for a radical reinvention, and Roan stepped up to the challenge with their commuter collection, the most comfortable, breathable, and flexible set of products known to man, and here's why. The commuter collection gets you ready for any occasion, casual wear, business attire. Want to go play on the golf course, rock one of their golf polos and shorts. Need to get ready for an important meeting, you can rock their nice slacks and a nice button-down shirt. They've got it all, and not only are you going to look good, you're going to feel good as well. With their 4-way stretch fabric, it provides breathability and flexibility regardless of the situation. Looking good has always been easy. Plenty of companies put out clothes that look good, but having that comfort, feeling comfortable, that is key as well, and that is what Roan has strived to do. Get 20% off all their clothes at roan.com/chatsports. That's RHONE.com/chatsports. Code chatsports. Get you 20% off. My best and favorite part about Roan, machine washable. Don't have to spend money at the dry cleaners anymore. Throw this stuff in the washing machine, air dry it. You're going to be good to go. It's Roan. Go check them out today. Okay, Bears injury discussion. Jaylon Johnson, is he set to return this week? Well, he said over the weekend that he plans to play this week. Now, Eddie Jackson, after the Denver game, kind of hinted at that as well. Obviously, did not play on Thursday Night Football. But you kind of think with the mini bye week, 10 days off, dating back to Friday, that guys like Jaylon Johnson have a chance to return, and that would certainly be huge, regardless if Jefferson plays or not, but especially if he does. You want Jaylon Johnson out there. Look at the Bears injury report. It is lengthy, but I think a lot of these guys do have a chance to play. I do think Jaylon Johnson's going to have a chance to go in this one. Eddie Jackson, we'll see with that foot injury. That would be a big boost to the secondary. I don't think Khalil Herbert's going to play. In fact, it sounds like there's a chance he could go on injured reserve. They, of course, signed Darrington Evans to this team, which became official this morning because Roschon Johnson's also in the concussion protocol. Travis Homer has a hamstring injury. Lucas Patrick, concussion protocol. Equinemius St. Brown dealing with the hamstring injury as well. And then Kyler Gordon, who's still on IR but is eligible to return. He has missed 4 games now. If he could come back along with Johnson and or Eddie Jackson, this secondary all of a sudden is pretty healthy, and that's big because we know the Vikings like to sling the rock around. They're one of the better passing attacks in the NFL. Again, Jefferson situation is critical there, but whether he plays or not, we know Kirk Cousins is going to throw the football quite a bit. All right, let's shift to my keys to victory and perfect transition here. If you're Matt Eberflus, you need to continue to bring pressure on Kirk Cousins this week. Eberflus, to his credit, blitzed a lot more on Thursday Night Football, and look, we've kind of been asking for it, right? The front four isn't getting home, so you got to dial up pressure. You got to bring different looks, and I think that was the key, too. It's not just blitzing, it's mixing up the looks. Greg Stroman had a slot corner blitz for a sack. They brought T.J. Edwards in for a sack as well. They brought Jaylon Jones late in the game when they were down to like their 6th corner on a blitz. He didn't get a sack, but he forced an incompletion. Like, different looks from different guys. Like, you got to mix up everything defensively, your blitzes, your coverages, your stunts, and I think the Bears did a better job of doing that. And we know Kirk Cousins can throw the football around. I mean, if you give him a clean pocket, he's going to pick you apart. I remember the game last year, I think week 5, the Amir Smith-Marset game, of course, which sucks, but I think Cousins started like 17 of 17 in that game. I mean, they literally got no pressure on him. So you've got to bring pressure and take your chances. And I'll say this, if Jefferson is out, you should be even more willing to blitz because you can play on the back end with less heavy coverages because then Jordan Addison's really the only major threat to burn you downfield for Minnesota. Now, if you want the Bears to keep blitzing like I do, type B in the comments down below. Blitz Matt Eberflus. It worked last week, at least to a certain extent. Keep it up this week. Okay, get Darnell Mooney involved. Keys 2 and 3 kind of work together here. We start with number 2 here, Darnell Mooney. If you had one negative takeaway from the game last week, which it's hard to find one when you snap a 14-game losing streak, it's that Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney did not connect on a couple of opportunities. I thought the first play of the game where they ran that play action and he kind of ran like a slot fade or a deep, whatever you want to call that, a deep over, whatever. He burned his guy. I don't think Fields threw it to a great spot, but Mooney kind of got turned around and jumped for it instead of just kind of running through the route. I think if he runs, he has a chance to catch that ball, but it kind of went over the wrong shoulder. So, you know, that's just kind of one of those chemistry things that they didn't connect on. And then Fields, the second one was clearly on him. It was a deep crossing route, and he just threw it too far out in front. If they can get that connection going, and we know these guys have a ton of reps together and have built chemistry, it just wasn't on display the other night, you got to get Darnell Mooney going because not that Chase Claypool was doing anything, but now with him out of the picture, Mooney's clearly your number 2 guy, and I do want to shift that to key number 3 here because, yes, continue to feed DJ Moore, that's obvious, but if no one else is threatening downfield, and I know Cole Kmet's had a nice couple of games here and he can continue to be a threat to take some attention away, teams are going to really start keying in on DJ Moore. I mean, I think they're going to do that anyway, but I think key number 2 of getting Darnell Mooney involved is vital because teams are going to start doubling DJ Moore just from the beginning of the game and say, hey, go beat man coverage with Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet. And if Justin Fields and this offense can do that, then they can't double DJ Moore all the time, and you can continue to target him a lot. And he's made it. It's been very clear. When he catches the ball, he makes things happen. Little hitch routes are going for 50 yards sometimes, like we saw at the end of the game last week. So he's been unbelievable the past couple of weeks. And I'm not saying stop throwing to DJ Moore. I just think if Mooney can get going early often, I think that should be a focus. Get him a completion or two. You know, the opening drive script that teams do. Scheme Darnell Mooney a catch. Get him going a little bit. Get the vibes right. And then hopefully DJ Moore can continue to do his thing because if he does, this offense is going to be hard to stop. Show Darnell Mooney some love. Get the moons going in the chat. I still think he can be a more than adequate number 2 wide receiver on this team. And with the way DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, too, are playing right now, if Mooney gets going, this passing attack could be lethal. Okay, maintain offensive balance. I know we just talked about Mooney. I know we just talked about DJ Moore. But I think a big key to the success offensively the last couple of weeks has been the rushing attack's been very good. They've run the football 63 times for 349 yards, an average of 5.5 the past 2 weeks. Regardless of what running backs play and are healthy, it's working. I think this offensive line still overall is a better run blocking group than pass protecting group, although the pass protection has improved the last few weeks. But stay balanced. Run the football. Deontay Foreman could be an opportunity for him this week. Again, we'll see if Roschon Johnson clears concussion protocol, but Foreman's more than capable. I think getting downhill in the running game is only going to continue to let the passing game excel as well. And then last week, stay confident, JF1. Justin Fields should have a lot of confidence right now. I give him a lot of credit for flushing the end of that Denver game, which you could have easily seen that carry over into week 5, but that did not happen. He threw 4 touchdowns again, and it's really been a tale of 2 quarterbacks through the first 5 weeks. Weeks 1 through 3 wasn't very pretty. 58%, less than 200 yards per game, 3 to 4 touchdown interception ratio. Last 2 weeks, though, he's looked like a different player. 67%, averaging over 300 yards per game, 8 touchdowns against 1 pick. He looks good, man. He looks really, really good, and he looks confident. And he's always a player that he needs that swagger and that confidence to play well. That's what we saw a lot in college. We've seen it at times in his NFL career. And when he's got that, you really feel good about your chances of being productive offensively. And it's been really good stuff the past 2 weeks for him. And hopefully he can build off that against the Vikings defense that is better than last year, but it's not like it's great. It's still probably a bottom 10, bottom 12 defense in the NFL. So I think the opportunities to take some shots will be there. All right, predict the score. My keys to victory right there for you guys. Bears, Vikings, who you got winning, and what is the final score going to be? I'm back on the train of picking a Bears win. I said I wouldn't do it until they won a game. Well, they have. My caveat is if Justin Jefferson is out. If he's out there, I would give the slight edge to Minnesota. They're better than their 1-4 record. They are. But if he's out and you get a couple of these members in the secondary back, Soldier Field should be jacked up for this game. Give me the Bears 31-24. I think they're playing with confidence. If the defense can continue to just play marginally better, I don't think it's ever going to be a great defense this year, but I think you got a chance to stack some wins here. You at least have an opportunity. They got to prove it, but if Justin Jefferson's out, I just think that's a big deal and a lot for Minnesota to overcome, as they've already not been very good in close games this season. All right, I'm Harrison Graham. We will be back this afternoon, our normal live show. It might be 4 o'clock Central, 3 or 4. That's why you subscribe, turn on the noties. That way you get notified exactly when we go live. YouTube will send you a 30-minute heads up as well if you have those notifications turned on, so be sure to do that. And we'll see you this afternoon. Bear down.